Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies of a Man once again, and today we're going to do a different type of video. We're going to do a manga review instead of a light novel review. It was about time I did one of these. I've read a lot of manga since I started the channel, but I really hadn't felt that I had that much to say about any of them. Besides, I like it. That's basically it. So that's why I hadn't done one. This is the only one that I read in March that I really have any strong desire to make a video on, and it took me so long to do so because in April, J Novel Club had a bunch of free light novels that you could read, and then they take them back, or they remove them from your account at the end of April. So I focused on that, and then I wanted to do reviews for them where I could still show you the images before they remove them from the account. So yeah. This is Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru. This is written by Masashi Kishimoto, and the art is actually by Akira Okubo. This is volume 1. This is the only volume that's out in English as of right now. And I think this manga is actually canceled in Japan as of right now, or it's going to be canceled. I can't exactly remember, but essentially people didn't really like it, and it didn't really sell as strongly as everyone anticipated, even though it is a Masashi Kishimoto title. Masashi Kishimoto is the creator of Naruto, if anyone that's watching didn't know. And yeah, so this is published by Viz Media in America, and it's a Shonen Jump title. The genres are shonen, adventure, and I guess sci-fi is a good description. It doesn't have an anime adaptation, and I think that they didn't do it because Boruto is coming out, has been coming out for a while, and they didn't want people to stop watching Boruto to watch this manga, or this anime. But I think it would have been a rather great addition that would have boosted their sales a lot. So there's that, I guess. And yeah, so the premise here is not too dissimilar from Naruto, I guess. Well, I guess it's not that similar to Naruto. This one's about samurai, and the other one was about ninjas. Naruto was about ninjas. And in this one, it's essentially there is this interstellar god of war, I think, that helped shape the universe. And part of what he did was have these 7 keys that are related to the 7 most important samurai, I think, and are keys to the this box, this thing that is used to control the universe, I think. I'm not really sure. Our duty as a samurai is to protect the galaxy. That is a samurai's noble calling. Okay, so the warrior god created these keys to unlock Pandora's box, which I think is a localization of whatever box that they, whatever thing that they referenced. And so they need these keys to open the box and save or change the world, or the universe, I guess. And that's basically the opening. And then you kind of zero in on Hachimaru, who is playing this video game where he's a samurai. And then you realize that this kid is a cripple, and who really has no way to move on his own. He's way too weak. He's way too emaciated and in poor health to do anything. But he still dreams of being a samurai. And yeah, so that's basically the premise. It's very much Star Wars-y. It's this guy that's disconnected from the world in like this backwater place. Suddenly, stuff happens, and he meets this ancient wizard type of character who happens to be what he wanted to be, and who starts teaching him the way of Well, I guess in Star Wars it's the Force, and here it's of the samurai. And Space Samurai is very much what you could describe Jedi as. So to me personally, it feels very similar to Star Wars. The plot here is okay. Well, I think it's good, but it's a little too small for this volume. It feels like nothing really happened, although some stuff did happen, obviously. And this volume tries to set up a lot of stuff, but it does it in a very info dumping kind of ways, which to me, as a fan of high fantasy Western novels, doesn't really bother me. I think that's the amount of info dump that happened in this book is actually rather small. But I know that a lot of other people that are more into comics and stuff would find the info dumping in this book to be very big, or to be a large amount. And yeah, like I said, the plot line here is rather minimal for this volume, for a volume of manga. It doesn't really do much. There's a few climaxes, but they seem to really not matter that much, because nothing really happens after them. Like, you have the opening scene, and then you have the second opening scene, or like the prologue of the story, which is the video game, which is rather well drawn, but the fact that you realize that it was a video game kind of drops the tension that you felt really fast. And then the one part of the story where it feels very important doesn't affect the character all that much. He's very whiny and very spoiled, and he's supposed to have this very visceral emotional reaction before during the climax of this volume, but then he goes back to being exactly the same right afterwards. So really, the climax of the story didn't really do anything for him and for us as the reader. So I think it was kind of missed in that sense. And yeah, I don't really want to spoil anything, but essentially, that's basically what happened. The characters here are not great. Hachimaru is kind of annoying. Well, he's really, really annoying, actually. He's very spoiled, very mean. He is like a dick to his dad very much for no reason. His dad has literally done nothing but make sure he stays alive. And done everything he can to keep him alive. So I don't see why he'd be so mean to his dad, I guess. So I didn't really appreciate that. And then there's a Nasashi. I can't remember the character's name, but he's really odd. I don't know if Kishimoto was trying to go for a more appealing, character type for the West. Because this character seems to be non-binary or asexual or genderless. I don't really know what the right vocabulary to use would be. But I say he because it seems like it's a male. But he is so he lacks an identity so much that he's not sure if he's a male or a female, and he like talks to his hands, and one of his hands is female and the other one's male, and you never really understand what he is. And I don't know if this is Kishimoto playing with the whole is prettier than a girl but is secretly a boy type of thing, like he did with Haku in early Naruto, or if he's trying to be more modern in his character building. I think it's fine either way. I just didn't really understand what was happening with the character. And then Daruma, this guy, is probably the most interesting, mostly because you don't really understand why he's a cat. He's apparently this like very impressive samurai, but he's stuck in this body of a cat. And so you don't really see anything. And he has a very weird tendency to act weird. Kind of like Yoda or like Gran Torino from My Hero Academia. So yeah, the characters are not great. Oh, and there's one other character. It's the princess. whose name I can't remember because she's really that irrelevant. There you go. I think her name is Anne. That's the last character that's relevant, I guess. Well, Hachimaru's dad is relevant, but he really only functions as a plotline device, I guess. Anne is introduced, but you don't really understand anything about her except that she's a princess and that's supposed to be important to a samurai. I think in the sense that samurai need something to protect, which, okay, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, characters, not that great of a point. Not that horrible, just not my preference. And world building is probably the best part. I really like the weird, mystical, quasi-robotic stuff and aesthetic that this book goes for. And the samurai lore is interesting, but it just felt like it wasn't really that planned out. So it just kind of like you're given the information, but you don't have enough time to process it, I guess. And it's not really relevant to the plotline in this volume. So I don't know. And yeah, so it's not that great for world building. Next is the art, and because it's a manga, it's rather a bit more important. And all I can say is that it's very good, although sometimes it can seem a little messy or a little unclear. But that's basically it. I like it. I think it's rather good, even if it is a little messy. You see that? That's supposed to be some sort of lion, and that's a dog. Or a wolf, I guess. Here. This is cool. This almost has a very, like, Dragon Ball Z aesthetic. I think. I don't really know what to compare it to, but it's rather nice. And there's no fan service in this volume. And yeah, my overall rating of this is a 3 out of 5 or a 6 out of 10. I think it's above average, but it's not amazing. I recommend it if you like Kishimoto and you want to support him as an author. I'm not really sure that many people would like it besides that. Similar titles, Star Wars and Naruto. And that's basically it. It's better than people made it out to be from what I've seen. A lot of people seem to just hate on this because it's not as good as Naruto, which, I mean, I agree, it's not as good as Naruto. But I still think that as fans of Kishimoto, we should let the story develop a bit more before judging it too harshly. Although it's been canceled, I think, so maybe that doesn't really matter, and it's completely going to be a bad series anyways. I still want to get the next couple volumes and check it out, and then if I don't like it, well, that's that, I guess. And yeah, please like and subscribe, comment down below. What did you guys think about Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru? Are you gonna pick it up? And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.